Welcome to the 100 Photos channel. We are glad to see you again and wish you a pleasant viewing of our new video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos, and you will also help achieve my dream of 100,000 subscribers.
A two-turkey power vehicle from 1910. Skateboarding in 1982. A cup of tea and a bit of peace back in the 1890s. Aerial view of the Hollywood Bowl, Los Angeles, 1920s. View shows the stage and its seating area, which extends up the hillside. The stilt-walking shepherds of France's grasslands, 1900s. Heinkel cabin type 150 microcar, Cologne, Germany, 1954. Man on a wild chopper bicycle, Chicago, early 1970s. Frankfurter Queen, 1956. Four-man bicycle is powered by 5 chains and has brakes on both its wheels. 1948. The bike was built by Art Rothschild, top position, who broke 3 ribs while learning how to ride it. Taking the school bus in Westland, Oregon, 1904. A 19th century family at their sod house on the plains showing off their goods in the yard. West Union, Nebraska, 1886. Border between United States and Mexico in the late 1920s. A wartime selfie from the 1940s. A boy carrying to baguettes in Paris, 1953. Howard Hughes, at the controls of his 200-ton flying boat the Spruce Goose, c. 1940. Payday in the coal mining town, Omar, West Virginia, September 1938. Photo by Marion Post Wolcott. A woman ironing clothes while watching television, 1950s. Irish family eating a meal of potatoes and milk, 1917. Customers eating herring in the traditional Dutch way, Netherlands, Rotterdam, 1937. It took more than a mountain of snow to close public school in Valdez, Alaska, 1910. A woman getting her hair permed in a beauty salon in Long Beach, California, 1934. A huge dollhouse belonging to Queen Mary, wife of King George V, is packed up and dispatched to Windsor, 1923. A mail carrier and her horse in Los Angeles, California, 1915. How old pubs looked in London back in 1955. In the 1960s, it was a common sight to see babies bundled up in their strollers, left outside to enjoy the crisp fresh air. Groucho Marx and Lucille Ball goofing off at CBS's KNX radio studios, 1945. Girl harvesting grapes in traditional dress from the Ionian coast of Calabria, Italy, 1920s. Illuminated tires that were developed by Goodyear in the early 1960s. A photographer and his assistant attempt to get the perfect shot of the Grand Canyon in Arizona, 1908. Einstein and his wife, Elsa, leave on 6-month boat journey to the Far East on October 1922. When they checked into their hotel in Japan, thousands of people stood outside waiting for the Einsteins to wave from the balcony. Rita Hayworth next to her 1947 Lincoln. The Farmer and His Sons, Ryazan Province, Kasimovsky County, Village of Grand Peaksley, Russian Empire, 1910. American physicist Harold Agnew posing for a photo early 1940s. The item that he is carrying is the plutonium nuclear core of the Nagasaki Fat Man atomic bomb. It was dropped on Nagasaki in 1945 and killed around 80,000 people. Inside a Harley-Davidson factory in the 1920s. A selfie in the year 1920. The birthplace of William Shakespeare in Stratford-upon-Avon, England, pictured prior to restoration in 1850. The 1966 blizzard in Syracuse, New York. Sophia Loren arrives to the Lido Film Festival in Venice, Italy, 26 of August to 7 of September 1958. Soda bottle return rack, 1960s. Marilyn Monroe at the reception at the Queen Elizabeth II in London, 1956. Patient buying curiosities from his hospital bed in the 1950s. A flight insurance vending machine from the 1950s. A television set in 1945, priced at $100. The Mona Lisa is returned to the Louvre Museum after missing for 2 years in Paris, France, 1914. Rickard's high school principal checking the skirt length in Tallahassee, 1965. Dad buying a pedal car for his son, 1955. A woman using an early car seatbelt in the 1950s. It took over a decade for the federal government to catch up, finally passing the 1966 Motor Vehicle Safety Act that made seatbelts a standard feature in all cars. New York subway in the 1960s. Passengers board a new upgraded Pan American Sikorsky S for O plane, 1932. Miss America contestants in 1925, Miss Lancaster Estella Whittle, Miss San Francisco Edith Flynn, Miss Pottsville Elsie Gallagher, Miss Scranton Beulah Keeter, Miss Bronx Edith Higgins. A family plays on a unique 4-person, homemade swing in Finland, 1954. Rare photograph of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophia during their tragic visit of Sarajevo, 1914. Michael Caine on the set of Alfie, 1966. Muhammad Ali jockeying singles into the Philips vinyl record player in his 1959 Cadillac Eldorado. Standing in West Berlin, introducing their children to their grandparents who reside on the eastern side, 1961. Detroit's 1950s freeway, the beginning of the end for the city's beauty. Albert Einstein moments before his famous photo with his tongue out. March 14, 1951. He was leaving his 70th birthday party at Princeton University. Portrait of a Native American, LUH-SA-Ku-Re-CULLA-ha particular time of day or steam sun, Pawnee. Photo by Jackson Brothers Omaha, NE, 1869. Finnish personnel disarm a floating sea mine from a small wooden rowboat in the Gulf of Finland near Haapasaari, autumn 1944. Photo by S.A. Kuva. A picture from inside the home of a low-income family living near Cincinnati, Ohio during the Great Depression. Hamilton County, Ohio, December 1935. The two Kashmir giants posing with the American photographer James Rickleton, 1903. Queuing for Bread, Italy, 1943. Photo by George Roger. A child with polio learning to walk inside parallel bars around the time physical therapy was born. Polio Rehabilitation Center, Sudbury General Hospital, Canada, 1953. The 1950s housewife getting ready to prepare a meal with her modern electric appliances. Winter fun in the old days. Youngsters holding onto the rear bumper of a passenger car as it pulls them along a snowy street in Scheveningen, Netherlands. Date unknown, possibly 1930s. Chernobyl unit for control room in 1986, shortly after the disaster. Atari Space Invaders Championships, 1981, London, Great Britain. Negotiations between the zoo director and escaped chimpanzee, Belgrade, 1988. Oxford bags, the ridiculously wide-legged trousers of the 1920s. A young soldier and his mother, just before he departed for WWI, 1917. A boy enjoys the simple pleasure of roasted sweet corn, which he has roasted on top of a hot stove in Chamisil, New Mexico, 1940. An assembly line at Zenith Electronics, known for their televisions in Chicago, Illinois, 1951. Miners in the Serra Pelada gold mines in Brazil, 1980s. The hard work of a mother with her 10 daughters, Boston, 1952. The famous O'Neill sisters, photo by Nina Lean. A Sunday Drive, 1909. The Mitsubishi Dialtone D160, the largest subwoofer ever, constructed in the 1980s. It weighs 800 kilograms, and it's audible to kilometers away, 1.5 miles. Louis Schaefer, miner, with armful of groceries bought at company store. Pittsburgh Coal Company, Westland Mine, Westland, Washington County, Pennsylvania, 1946. A Soviet Mi-8 helicopter flying past one of the two Buddhas of Bamiyan, Afghanistan, 1980. Aerial photo of the enormous Hughes H for Hercules wooden aircraft being built, Playa Vista, California, February 1947. Landing on the coast of Normandy, under heavy enemy machine gun fire, American soldiers leave the landing boat. D-Day, France, 1944. Sharing a sea aigarat during the Tour de France, 1920. A lady driving an experimental Dynasphere monocycle in England, 1931. A cat lady from the 1930s. Public urinal in Paris, France, 1875. Ava Gardner and first husband Mickey Rooney, 1940s. Pacific Southwest Airlines stewardesses in the early 1970s. A 1958 Tupperware party in Sarasota, Florida. Bathysphere, the world's first deep-sea exploration vessel, 1930s. It was created by American naturalist William Beebe, pictured inside the vessel, and engineer Otis Barton. The Dunkley Premotor was launched in 1923. The Dunkley Premotor allowed mothers and nannies to take babies on a trip around town without getting worn out. When a catty newspaper columnist supposedly said Marilyn Monroe would be better off wearing a potato sack, she did just that, 1951. The menu at Alcaraz's dining hall on March 13, 1956. A rare look inside a barber shop in 1869. A man and boy change a tire on the side of a dirt road, 1917. A woman using a portable micro-television, invented by Sony, in the back of her car, 1963. West Berlin is waving to relatives over the Berlin Wall, Christmas Day, 1961. Photo by Leon Herstritt. Bookmobile in Virginia, 1950s. Long before 5G, Stockholm's Telefontornet connected 5,500 phones with overhead wires, 1890s. with love from Wartime River, Saskatchewan, 1931, Canada. What grocery shopping looked like 1945? United States.